I'm so grateful for working at Neighborhood Ministries this past 2 years. I feel partly like it's living in a dream because I'm doing what I believe God's called me to do. I feel like I'm doing the work of being God's hands and feet. I feel like I'm working alongside people who have a similar passion of me and a similar vision of what God's kingdom looks like, encountering earth and encountering an underserved community. One thing that I've learned and I'm excited to learn more about, that I've witnessed here since working, is that the youth are the answers to the problems that they're facing in their communities. That the youth are the answers to the social change that's needed in the community, the injustice that they're facing, their families face, that the youth, that they are the answers to that problem. And so my role is just to empower them and to help develop them to get to become that answer. My 3 objectives that I'm kind of over here at Neighborhood Ministries is: one is the leadership development of these 8th graders through young college kids during our summer program. And so that's like an intense May, June, and July where we're planning and prepping of what are the trainings, what are the resources I can bring in to help develop these youth and teenagers and young adults as leaders. And the second was developing this mentorship program, which has become more of developing these policies for relational management, all kind of like relational mentor-mentee management that we have here. I got to develop a handbook and revise a handbook for that we're going to implement into the different programs. And then the third is spiritual development. And so I see that more as a formational. And so we do have Bible study lessons and we do worship together, but we also do things like eat together. We do things like a family would as we try to become the family of God together. And so in all of those things that I mentioned that I've kind of been overseeing, the objectives I've had, one thing that I've learned of serving this community here at Neighborhood Ministries is the importance of understanding trauma. And so I anticipate, what I'm looking forward to is learning more how I can inform like a trauma-informed work with all of those pieces of what I'm doing. How a big part of being trauma-informed, they say, is starting with making people feel like they're safe. And that's when they feel like they can belong in a space and be comfortable to move on then into further relationship. I'm also just looking forward to more development of the young people, of handing them different tools that they wouldn't be able to get in the circumstances that they're in, the neighborhoods they live in, the schools they go to, of handing them different resources and skills and trainings that they normally wouldn't get is kind of what brings me a lot of joy to see in their lives. Every Wednesday night, what I begin to do now, that's when we'll have some of our spiritual discussions. I'll bring a notebook myself to like be kind of eager and anticipating for the kids and for the youth to say something so that I can learn from them. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm anticipating that. I think I've learned so much already, that the youth here have such a passion for inclusivity and for acceptance, that they've even taught me so much in that and stretched me so much in that. This past year, Erin and I have been married and figuring out what it is for me to be in a ministry and her to be in ministry together. We dream together of what it looks like to come together to do ministry and to do God's work here on earth. And so part of what we're learning and seeing in the work that we're in now, and what Neighborhood Ministries has been teaching me, is the understanding of what true social change is, which is community development and community organizing. And so both of us have this dream of what does it look like for us to church plant in the future and to include community development and organizing and what God's calling us to do in the future.